researchers at Ohio University have just concluded a study that says that urban coyotes are 100% monogamous. They don't cheat. They studied 236 Chicago area coyotes over a period of 6 years. A long time.
And they still wouldn't cheat.
They would not cheat. I mean, they're better than humans nowadays.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, they're not even close. Compare something else you can study out here, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
Okay, to urban coyote, and the coyote's killing them.
They're killing them.
Now, of course, that's a value judgment if you value monogamy, right?
Has that become a thing where monogamy is not really valued now?
Well, unfortunately, it still is.
Right.
Now, I say unfortunately because the reality is that humans are stuck in the middle. That in reality, there are, like coyotes, apparently urban coyotes. I don't know about suburban coyotes might be having key parties. I don't know about that.
Well, this is the thing. So urban coyotes have more to choose from. Therefore, you would think that they were cheaters. But even though they have more to choose from, these particular kind of coyotes are monogamous. Like humans, okay, so you're in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. So maybe it might be a little bit easier to be, faithful to your wife. If you're in LA, there's so much to choose from, maybe it'll be a little bit harder. So
that's interesting. You're saying the coyotes are in reverse because if there's a scarcity, then they figure, well, I've got to increase my gene pool in one way or another. So if it's Sally Coyote, I got to go with Sally. But you know what? Hey, if I run into Susie Coyote, I better do it before I lose my chance to pass on my DNA.
Right.
So that's fascinating. But look, humans are stuck in the middle because there are some species, obviously like the urban coyote, that are monogamous, or gibbon monkeys. So that's easy. They're totally monogamous. They find the right person, they stay with them, and they're mentally healthy for the rest of their lives, you would hope and imagine, right? And then there are the opposite end, with chimpanzees, bonobos, etc., that are totally polygamous. And they don't think twice about it. They're not torn like, oh, should I get married? Should I settle down? They're like, Susie, Sally, line them up, right?
Yeah.
And women, men, etc., in other words, males, females, it doesn't matter. They're all having sex with one another. Again, peace of mind.
Right.
We are stuck in the middle.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Where we want to be married, we want a monogamous relationship. Because look, think about how powerful a force that is. Because those celebrity guys who can get anybody and everybody, they get married anyway. Because we are driven to be monogamous. But at the same time, we all cheat. Because we're stuck right in the middle.
Look, this concept of monogamy and marriage is a very new concept. Humans have been around for tens of thousands of years, and we have been polygamous throughout. It's only recently, first of all, marriage has also been around for thousands of years, but it was never considered monogamous. Men always cheated. They always had a concubine, they had multiple wives.
Women couldn't.
Women would if they could. They didn't have that economic power. This belief that we are somehow naturally monogamous is a complete fallacy.
I think you're not giving humans enough credit. Like we're not simple creatures. We're more complicated. We do have a guilty conscience, and that's why we can't just go around and having sex with different type of people or different people, because I think there is something within you that is natural that knows that that's not right.
No,
especially
Hermela,
if you've committed to someone.
Hermela, why are you attributing any kind of moral superiority to monogamy? Why is something not right versus being right? I mean, these are just cultural choices that we've made.
No, but you're not going to.
So they're correct in today's society, but
I understand what you're saying,
years that they're not.
But you're not going to convince me that it's because society bred me to be guilty that I feel guilty. I think that is a natural guilt that is in our. If I could, I would even say in our DNA. That when we cheat on somebody, we feel like we're cheating. That it's not the normal state of affairs. That it's something to feel that you've aggrieved the other person, right? I don't think that that's just manufactured by society. And look, and then one last thing, I go back to the Kobe Bryant argument. If humans were like chimpanzees and purely polygamous, there's no way in the world famous athletes, musicians, celebrities like Kobe Bryant, George Clooney, etc., would ever get married. Now, George Clooney is the exception that proves the rule because he's the one guy who resisted. But everybody else gets married. It's not just because of societal pressure. It's also something inherent in our DNA.
I
No,
agree.
Cenk, again, you guys are conflating two completely separate concepts. The concept of marriage and monogamy, those are two separate things. The concept of one man, one woman, forever living in love that's about 100 years old compared to tens of thousands of human history. So this concept of feeling guilty and all of that, we have.
Do you think it's purely societal?
Yes.
So,
No.
Our religion, our society, because there's so many people in other societies where they aren't raised this way, they don't have these same issues. I'm not making any moral judgment. I'm talking about our physical, natural state.
And I think that that goes together with your guilty conscience. Like, I don't think you can separate one from the other. And the other thing that lets you know that monogamy is somewhat natural, although I get what you're saying, that, you know, you are tempted to cheat and that's completely natural. But on the other end is jealousy. Jealousy wouldn't exist if you're not supposed to be monogamous.
Yeah, no, and jealousy is as real as it gets. That's not societal. And Steve, what you're doing is you're saying just because there are some societies that act that way, that are human beings, that are like, oh, if there's just 10 of you, you act that way. Well, that doesn't mean that all human beings are that way, because if there's 100 of us or 1,000 of us or 1,000,000 of us, we apparently react differently.